It is so frustrating, this whole thing with Chelsea, because 1 week you're complaining about something, and then the next week some random thing comes up, and you start questioning what even is the future of the club, what even is the future of the players at the club. It is so frustrating because you're losing all your matches, you're losing all your games. Your coach is giving out statements that not only just confuse you but also demotivate you, make you lose belief in all the process that the club is convincing you there is. And then all the briefs come out of the club, and all the other happenings around the club continue to happen, and then your vice captain, the vice captain of your club, goes on and makes statements about him wanting to possibly leaving the club in the summer after the World Cup. And now he said that he'd like to stay in Madrid at a time when he's already in the rumors, he's already in the news for desiring a move away from the club. So it is so frustrating. That is the perfect word for it. And Enzo Fernandez, if we talk about him, it's okay if he wants to move away from the club. It's not like you can complain. It's not like you can challenge his desire. We brought him on 3 years ago as a franchisee player. He was supposed to be the star of this project, and in a lot of ways he has been the star of this project. But have we not failed him? Have we delivered upon all the promises that we made to him? Have we created the future that we promised that he would have? That he would be a future league winner, for a future Premier League winner, a future Champions League winner? Have we delivered on that promise? We haven't. We're not even close to that spot. We got dragged out of the Champions League by PSG 8-2. He has held his patience. He has even performed pretty well in the past 3 seasons. In fact, he's been one of our best performers. I know he's had 28 goals, 29 assists, 57 goal assists. That is not a great figure, especially when he's played 161 matches for the club. Just about 32 goal assists in Premier Leagues. In the Premier League, when he's already played about 120 games in the Premier League. Those are not the best figures for him. Those are not the best figures that we expect of him, that he expects of himself, or the figures that we'd actually want from Chelsea's premier midfielder. He has still been one of the best players in the last 4 years for Chelsea. He has been one of the few bright spots for the club. It is not like we can just go out and complain that he's going against the club or he's betraying the fans, because it's not like the club has delivered on their promises to him. Fans have not always been the kindest to him. The fans have been a lot mean to him at various points in the last 4 years, in the last 3 years. It's like everybody is at fault in this whole deal. Enzo is at fault for a large part of it. Giving such statements at such a juncture of the season, when we still need him to perform well, when we still need the club as a whole to perform well and ensure that Champions League qualification for the next season, try to at least win the FA Cup, if not actually do so. And he goes out to make such statements in the international break. That is not very responsible of him. That is not a captain's move from him. But then the club have not done their job with him either, and the fans have not been nice to him either. So it's like everybody's at fault here. He was such a bright prospect when he was at River, when he was at Benfica, and then we brought him on. It was such a whole deal. I kind of look back at it with fondness, because we had tried for so long battling it out with Benfica and Rui Costa and all those news briefings the whole month. Then the whole month when we were just stuck to our screens of our mobile phones, just trying to find, just waiting for that news to drop, that bomba to drop from Fabrizio Romano, that Enzo Fernandez was going to go to Chelsea. Enzo Fernandez to Chelsea, here we go. And then it finally arrived on January 31st, 2023, or was it February 1st? I don't exactly remember. Everyone was delighted. Everyone was in a happy mood. Everyone was overjoyed at the news of Enzo joining Chelsea, and it was such a huge deal. There was that song made for Enzo. There was that whole presentation from the club, especially at a time when everybody associated with the club, especially the fans, were dejected. That was a depressing season. And then he came on. We finished that season probably the worst season that we had in the last 25, 30 years. And he managed to pull us back out of that hole that we were so deep into. He helped us when Pochettino was here. He helped us when Maresca was here. We won the Conference League. We won the Club World Cup. He was a huge part. He was an integral part of those teams. He helped the club to win those trophies. He delivered. He delivered when it was time for him to deliver. He delivered on the 3-year anniversary of him being at the club, of him signing for the club. January 31st this year against West Ham. The goal when he took his shirt off, winning the game for Chelsea. Just a glorious moment. Can we blame him for desiring a move away from Chelsea? Absolutely not. We have no right to. He's done his job. He's delivered us 2 trophies that we'd always look back fondly at. It's not like Real Madrid or Atletico Madrid are just fawning at their mouths for him. It's not like they're just going out all guns blazing for him like they might have a couple years ago. That's not happening right now. And especially when the season's not yet over, the World Cup's not even close right now, and he's giving these statements right now, it's the worst of times to make these statements. And he should be more responsible. His team should be more responsible when doing all these interviews, all these whatever this is, all these streams. This is not how you expect your club captain to act like. I would have no problem with Enzo Fernandez potentially leaving the club. It would hurt to see him leave, and a central part of this project would be gone from the club. Then we would still have to look for a similar midfielder, which is a hard find in today's market. A player with such high potential, nearing his prime years, we would not be able to take full advantage of that now. But if he doesn't want to stay at the club, and you can't blame him for that, it's not something you can stop him from doing. But going about it this way is not the best of ways to do it. And if the club do want to keep Enzo at the club, they need to deliver on their promises. They need to bring real coaches in who guarantee winning to him. They need to offer him a better contract. I know there was some news of him being offered a better contract a few days ago, last week, a couple of weeks ago. Nothing more has come out of it since then. And I've been one of Enzo's biggest supporters ever since he was at the club. I desired Enzo to be at the club before the World Cup even. I might still have a tweet for that. I'll put it right here. I love Enzo as a player. We all do. But it is not his fault for desiring to go to a bigger club, desiring to go to a club with a much more hunger for success, where much more concrete steps are being taken for success. And I believe this is what's going to happen with many other players at the club now until the summer. Many players would want to leave. Caicedo, at least, is not one who wants to leave, but what about other players? What about the kids that we had guaranteed, that we had ensured success to? We have no leverage right now. It's not like we can guarantee some good future. It's not like we can tell them that they're going to have a brighter future at Chelsea Because at Chelsea, the times seem to be really dark right now. And it doesn't seem like any positive steps in that direction are being taken. It doesn't seem like anybody at the club is ready to take responsibility or accountability at the moment, which is the worst thing of them all. Forget about player recruitment. Forget about the right manager. Forget about how the fans are reacting. Forget about the model of the club. At least the club can take responsibility. At least the club can take accountability over the fact that they have not been the best in the past few years. The club has not functioned at the level it should have. The club has not delivered on the standards that the fans and everyone has for them. Anyways, that was it for the video. I just wanted to get this out. I just wanted to get my thoughts out on Enzo Fernandez leaving Chelsea potentially, his thoughts on going to Madrid. Let's see what happens with Enzo in the future, in the summer. I'll see you guys ready to do this. If you want to check out my newsletter, I'll put it in the description below. Check it out and tell me your thoughts on Enzo leaving the summer in the comments below. This is Irish signing off again.